Today I had this amazing opportunity to meet Tara Marino. She's a mentor coach. She's the founder and CEO of Elegant Femme. Her mission is to help women to find themselves and to live a meaningful life. I loved every single second of this conversation. We talked about how to find balance between being a wife, a mom, and a businesswoman, how to deal with inner conversations, with struggles and challenges, what's important when it comes to kids' mental health and their education, and much more than that. I hope you love it too.
Let's do it. Seriously, the first time that I heard about you was from Andrea. She's part of the community, your community. She's been there for 8 years, and she introduced me to indie, Frenchie, New Yorker daily routine. And today I woke up directly into a call, and I miss that.
Yeah. That's the best part, actually. When we get the contrast, we're like, oh, actually, it works for me. I really like it. So that's funny that happened today.
Yeah, and that was the thing that hooked me actually into what you're doing, and it was the first thing that is the first interaction with you, and I really loved what you're doing, like the mission, and that you are inspiring women to live their fullest life and full without limits, and I'm really curious why you're doing it.
Oh, let's go right in. I love it. Why are you doing this? It's actually a really, really important question. And I would say one that I have found for myself that I can't just answer once. It's like having Elegant Femme now for 14 years as of right now. It's that consistent checking in with myself of why am I doing it? Like, why do any of us do anything? What is it that's calling us forward into the next phase? So for me, in the very beginning, I think you know the story, but I'll share it with your audience. The intention was to heal myself. This is where it all came from originally. It wasn't, how do yes, I had desires as a little girl to want to change the world and to want to create massive impact and to want to, grow into a wealthy space. And I had those, yes. But the real beginnings of Elegant Femme were so intimate with me. I lost my firstborn son in my arms, and this was the catalyst. It was like me. It was so me. And I know it sounds selfish when I say it, but really I found that this is actually the key. It was so me focused. I needed it for me. The healing modality of beginning to connect with, I didn't know what they were at that time. It wasn't like the femme types, and it was these different aspects of myself. After I had that loss and the identity shift of, I will be so transparent and vulnerable with you. I hated myself. I had no will for life. I was frustrated with my body. I didn't know how I was going to continue to stay married. It's like 85% of couples or more that lose a child divorce. So everything was like up. My whole life was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Thank you very much. I want my son. That's the direction my life was supposed to go in. I'm not interested in anything else. So beginning to connect with something other than that. I don't know if you've heard the story, but it was about a year to the day that my son Mason passed away, and I was sitting on the floor, and I can still remember it so vividly. Like I can feel myself there. I can feel the cold tile underneath me. I can feel the fireplace here, and I'm on the floor, and the kitchen's here, and I'm surrounded in lawyer paperwork because there was an opportunity to file a lawsuit. There were some medical things that they really doesn't matter, but that's the situation. And I was like, why did this happen to me? Why? Like, what did I do? And of course, I could come up with a million reasons of why it could have happened and what I've done in my life to deserve to be punished to this extent. I was, asking the question and getting the answer that the question needed. Why? Oh, I'm this, I did this, I'm horrible, I did this, like all of this punishing energy. And it wasn't helping. And I sat there for a minute and I heard this voice say, Tara, stop asking why and start asking how. How are you going to allow this experience to change your life? And this was the beginning of the why for me. This was the truth that it really, if God would have come down and said, this is why this happened, that it wasn't going to make a difference for me at that moment. I needed to really take a high level of personal responsibility for my life and how was I going to respond. And from that level of conversation with the indie, you know, the Frenchie and the New Yorker came from that. So the why then is really the same as the why now. I needed it. I was healing through it. The connection and desire and inspiration that flowed through me as I connected with my own femme types, it became how I wanted to live. So the nuance of the why still today, even though there are thousands of women that know the femme types now, and so many people that have been affected, that I gosh, it's like I can't even explain to you.
How old you were when you did this? Like when
I was so Mason died in 2002, and with all the healing, I mean, so 2003 was the first time I heard my indie. So I was 27.
My God. Oh my God. This is like I have goosebumps. Oh my God.
27. How old are you?
I'm 28. You know, like, oh my God. Yeah, I think that like I have two elder sisters, and they both like went through this, like one with miscarriage and one like the same. And I saw the pain from like I didn't go through it, but this is like I can't explain it. Just to see it, one person that you love so much going through this, it's like it's crazy. And she told me that until like around 30s, she didn't even know who she was and what she wanted, and all these insecurities as a woman. And you know, I'm like thinking, why do we need to go through all these insecurities to get to some point? Then we actually discover our own power and the mission that we have. And this is so inspirational to me. Like you're so strong. Like the way you took this in your own hands and the responsibility over your life and what you're gonna do with it. It's just like so empowering. It's like the source of energy for your community, and it's incredible. It's incredible what you're doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will say to you, since you're a sister who watched a sister go through this, my sister the same. Like she came and lived with me, and she still says to this day, Tara, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it, but I wanted to love you through it. So I would say that yes, although you didn't have the experience, you being there for your sister and witnessing it, it's its own level of intensity. When you, like you said, when you love someone so much and you can't, you can't fill the void, and you want to support them, it's a big deal.
It's incredible. Like I'm thinking right now, like all these women, all the friends that I have around, like I understand now. You went through all this. It's the entire journey. Now you are like, you can see that looking backwards, you can connect the dots, how they got to you to this point. What you will advise to this young women, let's say 20, 30 years old, I don't know, that are dealing with all this self-talk that and self-inner conversations, bad and self-image? What would you advise them to how to deal with this?
I feel like one of the biggest things that we take for granted or that we don't respect is our own desire energy. And I'm not just talking about like physical desire. I'm talking about that calling forward in life of what it is we really want to experience. And I think that we confuse it with either being selfish or not being spiritual, and we don't harness the energy of desire itself. It's like life force for us. It's what allows us to move forward. So when we're stuck in those conversations with that we're not good enough, or our body image, or our self-doubt, or those places where we just feel so stuck, to me, what's really happening is there's a lack of desire energy. There's a forgetting of, wait a minute, what makes me really happy? Like, what do I want more than anything in the world to experience, right? It's like, this is to me how the femme types, like the Frenchie, it was because, oh my gosh, I want to be a Frenchie. I'm obsessed with France. I love the idea of it. And it allowed me to move past some of those limitations that said, I'm not good enough, I can't. Do you know? It's like, to me, this is what inspires us to grow. It's like, wow, what do I really, really, really want in my life? Not from a space of scarcity and lack of like, oh my God, it's not enough. What do I want? What do I need to do to impress others? But that real gorgeous connection with your indie that's like, hold on a second. Why am I here? And why am I here doesn't come from the space of what am I supposed to do to prove to the rest of the world that I'm important, or how do I jump through hoops to make sure my parents think I'm successful, or my mentor or my teachers. No, it comes from that space inside of what gets me so excited when I think about life. What would be like the most extraordinary story of my life? And that energy unravels these limitations. Do you know what I mean?
My God,
I
yeah.
love that you're so emotional. I want to hug you. You're amazing. I love you.
Well, it went straight through like this camera. Oh my
Yeah.
God, this is so great. Oh my God, this is it's incredible. For me, it's like going through this, like this is, I guess it takes time, and also everyone has his own wake up time, I would say, then
Yeah.
to not to focus so much on the exterior life, like world, but just to go through inside, and everything is, because I used to run through every places in this world, like I would just go
Yeah.
and switch places, like that would be the same at some point, until I will like again get back to myself and will be like, oh, again I need to switch, but it doesn't work. It doesn't
There's
work.
this saying that we have in English, and I don't know if you heard it before. It's so good about what you're saying. It's like, wherever I go, there I am. Like, we
Oh,
recognize that we're the common denominator. It's like, and that's okay too. We can run and feel some relief, and then at some point, I do think we come back to, hold on a second, like it's here, it's me. And it doesn't mean that we don't go experience beautiful, amazing places or cultures, or right, that can be an expression. But you're exactly right, you said it, that running away, which is so tempting, right? It's like, it's so uncomfortable, I just need to go away from it. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. Like I see you seriously, like I'm looking at you right now. You have the relationship, I would say it went, I think, a lot through a lot of challenges, but for me it's you've been for so long together, like the love evolved in so many ways, I assume. You have the business, you have the wonderful boys that you have, it's like you have a perfect life. How do you tackle this, like, all these elements in your life? How do you manage it? It's something for me like an ideal role to have all this business, husband, kids, and all this, and I'm like really curious how you're managing this.
So I love this. I love this energy. And do you mean managing it from like a time perspective, or do
No,
you
like
mean like,
energy as well. You don't
yeah.
like yourself in this as well, like you as a Tara, and also your identity. Like how you managing is not, I guess, the best word. Like how you tackle this. How do you prioritize? Like what are the struggles? Like I'm really curious about everything that you're gonna say.
I love you. I love you. You're amazing. You are amazing. This is making my day. This is so much fun. I need you to know. I'm so grateful you reached out.
Thank
Like,
you.
my heart is like, this is fantastic. So I think, you said something really beautiful when you were initially asking the question. It's like, there's been such an evolution, and there's such a continued evolution. When I look back at when I started Elegant Femme, my boys were 2 and 4 years old. And now my boys are 16 and almost 19, and Dominic's getting ready to go to college in 3 weeks.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
would say, and Dave and I just celebrated our 21st wedding anniversary
Oh my God.
last week. And sometimes it is like, how did this all happen? How What's happening? How am I 46 and a half? That little half is important. Like, how did I get here? How did this happen? And I think there's this, again, going back to the femme types, there's this power of presence where we really get to take a pause as we're evolving, right? Because we often don't do it until we're looking back, like, oh, that was amazing, that was great, or that was hard. But really in the moment of the evolution of, like, so I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I took the day off. I was supposed to have a Live You Fully call with my girls, and I said, my family's going to have a boat day. We need a boat day. It's going to be perfect. These reasons, let's reschedule the call for tomorrow. This is how it's alignment. And everyone was like, yes, we'll take an integration day. So we went on the boat yesterday. And, you know, Dave's sitting here. My mom's driving the boat. We're on this beautiful lake. And Dominic and Nico are on this massive inner tube, like two little boys, but huge, like men on this inner tube. And they were laughing and they were smiling. And I just took a moment, connected with my Indy, my Frenchie, my New Yorker, and I looked at Dave and I said, I want to remember this. I want to look at you. I want to look at my mom. I want to look at myself. I want to look at my boys and realize right here, right now, life is happening right here, right in this moment. And not get the iPhone out, but take a mental, like, energetic snapshot of right here, right now is what I'm living. And for all of us, we have dreams of the future, the relationship we want, the money we want to make, the ideal situation of how we want our lives to be. But it's that pause in wherever we are to just, like, reconnect of how far we've come and what it is we're experiencing. That always brings me back to me again and again and again. I know when you ask me, like, why do you do this? It's the same reason that I do it for me. I do it for me. Like, I am, and I know it's if you don't know, but I'm going to trust that your audience too can feel what I'm saying, because I know it can sound selfish that, like, I prioritize me in my life every day, but that's what it is. Like, I must be. And when I say me, I'm talking also about my connection with my soul. I'm not talking about, that surface level.
Yeah. Not the body only.
My connection with my soul again and again and again. And yes, there are hard times. Dave and I, when we first lost Mason, I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. Every transition, moving to France when the boys were little, moving back here has been a real stretch for me, for my ego, leaving Paris and being here on the beach. And yet at the same time, that's the beauty of the devotion to living fully. It's like nothing's static, nothing. And I'll tell you transparently, you're probably aware of this, with Dominic going to college in 3 weeks, I am a mess. I am a mess because it's a new identity for me. Now I'm going to have a son in college and he's not going to be living at home anymore. So there'll be another conversation that I'll be having, that I'm already having, that I will continue to have, which is, who am I now? And how can I continue to honor myself and what's real and true for me with this shift in identity? Does that help? Does that answer the question? I feel like
that answers it, like, to the so profound. It's like it take a time to understand, like, how deep this goes, because it's like it goes to your, like, to your soul. It goes to
and I think that's the biggest commitment that we can make. For me, when we teach living a beautiful soul-led life, it's that. It's like, where am I being led? Where am I being called? What are my desires inside of me? And from that place, the relationship strengthens. From that place, your relationship with your children opens, doesn't open, right? I mean, it's that consistent level of self-honoring commitment to our souls.
There is this saying which says, like, you compare two batteries. Let's say that two batteries from the phone, and someone asked the mom, what percentage do you give of your energy to your kids? And, like, she said, like, around 80%. And like, oh, 80% of what? 100 a full battery, right? then imagine that you have like a 2% battery. Like, how percentage do you give to your kids? And she's like, she didn't know what to answer, but the percentage is the same out of 2%. It's like 80%
Yeah.
out of 2%. Like,
Oh,
that's what I see right now from what you're saying, is to be
mm,
present to your own self, so that you can also give. Because if you are your own source of energy, like you have to recharge it, you have to take care of it to be able to share it. Because then it's just, you give the same proportion, but it's not the same, doesn't
I
feel the
love
same.
that. Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And it's so easy for us to give past the point of, right, we go into depletion mode very often as women, whether it's kids, relationships, work, clients, like whatever. It's very easy to go past the point of giving from that space of wholeness and go into that space of deprivation. And we know it, all it does is cause resentment, you
Yeah,
know?
that's true. Like, I'm thinking right now, you're my god, your boy is going to the college. You like this is like
I
this is next level. Like, this is next level. I'm thinking like, what kind of, yeah, inner conversations, they're
yeah,
like, they're always are gonna be there. Like, in those inner self-talk is always gonna be there. It's just the way how you look at it and how you position yourself with it. Like, I'm really curious how you position yourself with this.
yeah. So again, your energy is so beautiful and so precious and so like inviting that I'm going to share with you way really really vulnerably. I just love
Thank
the
you.
energy that you've
Oh my
opened.
god.
Really, and this has been, I've shared it in some ways, but this is probably the first time I'll ever share this publicly. This transition for me has been very painful, and that even though logically I know what I'm going to say isn't true, my physical body and emotional state feels like I'm losing another baby. It feels like a child is being taken away. And I know this isn't true. I know that's not true, but it's Dominic was the baby I brought home after Mason. So we lost Mason, and then I had a miscarriage, and then Dominic was the one. So I remember holding him in my arms and singing and saying, it's this the very cheesy Shania Twain song that says, "And there ain't no way I'm letting you go now, and there ain't no way,
Oh my god.
and there ain't no how." So this is what I sang to him. So now my basic self, like my physical body, is like, "We're not letting him go. What are you, crazy? We finally got him home." So there's the deepening in that conversation is to be really tender and compassionate with myself, to let myself feel what I need to feel. To, even though I know logically I'm not really losing another child, there is a shift happening in my life. There's a massive transition and I need to feel it. I can't sugarcoat it. I could try to run away from it, but I know enough about my own evolution that it's going to come out sideways in some way. So sitting with myself, crying, talking to him, going over pictures, like really loving myself through it, not making myself wrong for what I'm feeling, not trying to skip over it or push myself away from it, as painful as it is, honoring it, and then opening up to the possibilities. We say in French, tout est possible. I don't know what's going to come of this, but I do know it's going to be beautiful. I do know there's something there that is above and beyond the pain that I can't see. I choose to believe that we're going to be even closer. I choose to believe that it's going to, his growth and evolution and experience of himself as a young man is going to open me up in myself in ways that I don't even know. So that's the inner, there you go. There it is. That's the inner, like really workings of where I am. And I'm in it. I'm in it right now. He leaves in under 3 weeks. Today he's playing soccer for a semi-professional team up in Virginia with his dad. His dad, yes, it's like amazing. He's up there. And then next weekend, he's gonna go for his first like trial sleepover and meet his roommate. And so I'm just, when we go through these kinds of things in our lives, it's that what you were talking about earlier, there's a temptation sometimes to run and to numb and to not feel it. And then there's that choice to feel it deeply. And that's what I consistently intend to choose in my life. Like, let me just let life wash over me. Like, let me feel it all, even if I don't want to, even if it hurts. But this to me is being alive.
My God. Oh my God. I believe that we choose our parents. I think he is so grateful. Like he is so blessed to have such a mom.
I think that we do too. And I also feel like, so I will thank them often for coming.
Yeah.
And I will say, thank you for choosing me. Thank you for coming. Thank you we have these kinds of conversations,
Oh my God.
And when it's so good when they write me Mother's Day cards, they say, I'm so glad I came. Thank you. Thank you for being my mom. Thank you for being the one I chose. Like, these are the things we talk about.
Oh my God.
And I'm so grateful too that we chose each other. I feel like I've learned so much from them, like the way they embody who they are, their courage, their strength to like follow their own inner knowing. My gosh, like, I didn't have that when I was their age. No way. So it's such a gift.
It is, and I'm like thinking right now. I think you changed their schooling at some point, right? To homeschooling.
Yes.
What was the reason behind it?
So when we moved to France, the boys were 4 and 7, and they went right into traditional French school. My youngest son, was full French it's maternelle, like preschool all the way up. Dominic was in a semi-bilingual school. And then we moved to Paris, and they were in a private French school, it was like the most prestigious. It was so cool. They were having play dates with the Italian ambassador's son. It's like,
oh my God,
unbelievable kind of things that happen. And because of my business and the amount of travel that we get to do, I wanted them to come with me. And especially in the French school system, it was not highly regarded of like, even though they were young, to me, they're 7 and 10. I'm like, they're coming with me. But it was starting to become challenging to take them with me as much as I wanted to take them with me. Because for me, there's this Mark Twain quote that says, I will never let school get in the way of my kids' education.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God.
It's so good, right? It's so, so good. My husband and I, we believe that life happens, that the experience of life. So we decided to take them out of school, and we followed the French curriculum for a while, where they were sending in their work, which gave us some flexibility. But then it also came to a point where it was like, that still for us was too structured. I wanted my kids to feel really free. So they sat on the steps of Pompeii in Italy. They didn't read about it in a book. They sat on the steps, right? We had a tour from the tour guide. I don't know where it is. Dave just found recently, I created a set of intentions of what I wanted my kids to experience. Not like, oh, go do this, go do this. The internal growth that I wanted for them with taking them out of school. And it was really about everything you and I are talking about. Presence, feeling empowered to make individual choices, especially when it goes against, what society tells us we should do to be successful. And during that time, we spent 3 months in Italy. They came with me to our rendezvous in France multiple times where we have our clients. They traveled around the world with us. We went to Thailand. We went sailing in Greece multiple times. And I believe really that they are how and who they are because of the worldly experiences that they've had. There's just a resilience inside of them. And for me, I want them to know that there's no set way to live life. There's no box of like, this is how you do it right. I wanted them to feel courageous enough. And for me, my dad's a teacher. My mom was a school nurse. Both my brother and my sister are teachers. They were not happy about this decision. I mean, probably one of the biggest fights I've ever gotten into with my mom. She really thought I was doing the wrong thing. She was so afraid that I was going to ruin them, that they were going to be behind that. And now she thanks me. It took a lot of conviction to go in that direction. But I know it's some of the most beautiful memories I have with my boys was that time when they didn't have school.
Oh my God. I also live by intention. Like I adopted this a few years ago. There will be like almost 2 years right now, and I strongly believe in this. Like the way there's a character of traits that you want your kids to have, and I really admire what you did. Like you took responsibility over how you want to improve their lives and how you want them to be, and like to be in order to do and in order to have is not the way where the way around. Like I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What was for you the
Thank
most
you.
important, like when it comes to them, what was for you the most important to teach them, like this relation with mind body soul, like what was important for them to get?
The number one thing is that they love themselves above anything else. This was the number one. Self-love was the number one on my list. Self-love. And then that moves into trusting themselves, right? If they love themselves enough, they can trust themselves to make the decisions they require, even when I don't agree. You know, if it's like, because it's not my life. And when this comes back to you as a mom, you're like, you know, my kids are like, no, Mom, my heart, like when they were young, no, my heart's not saying that. What do you mean? That's what you taught me, Mom. My heart says this, and it's like, you know, you teach them like this incredible amount of freedom and liberation. And for our egos, that's really hard, you know, because, you know, we want to control and we think that we're right. But that was it. When we were this is so cute, my littlest one, Nico, when we would put him to bed at night, you know, he would go through what he's so grateful and so thankful for. And always, number one, I'm so grateful and so thankful for Nico. First thing every night that he would say.
Wow.
So to me, this is like, right at little, like 4. I'm grateful and thankful for Nico.
This is
crazy. Oh my goodness, my dogs are.
I know we have like 30 minutes. I'm like super valued.
We're fine. Do you know? I totally trust it. I'm enjoying. I'm okay. This is so fun for me.
This is great. Thank you. No,
you're welcome.
This is amazing. You know what? Like I was talking to my friend at some point and was telling her that I'm going to talk to you. And she's like, can you ask her something for me, please? Can you ask her? I was like, okay, okay, I will do it. Fantastic. I will do it. I love it. And I'm going to ask. Her question was, how do you make the man, which is your partner, feel like a man and keep the balance between feminine and masculine energy in a couple within years?
I love this. I love this question. And I think really the first part is we cannot make our men feel like men, right? That's not our responsibility at all. Like we can't do that, because even thinking that we can puts us in a masculine energy, right? It puts us back into control. If we're like, okay, how do I make my man feel? No, it's a surrender to that. And the focus goes completely, which I know sounds crazy, it goes completely off of them and to us. Because to me, the most magnetic, beautiful, sexy, sensual thing between the feminine and the masculine energy is when the masculine feels that the feminine doesn't need them. The feminine wants them, desires them. There is such a difference between need and desire, between need and want. And so when we're in this space of like void inside, or we're like looking for someone to fix things for us, to make us feel a certain way, to save us in any way, this is not attractive. Either way, right? Either way, when you think about it, when you the example that comes to mind, if you've ever been walking down the street and someone tries to give you like a pamphlet or a perfume or a sample, right? It's like, no, right? It's like, ugh, I don't want you to need like push like that. This doesn't work. This is a leaning back, a beautiful sensual expression of I am whole in my feminine energy and I want to do life with you. I desire to do life with you. And to me, in that energy, the masculine steps in a way that's fun and beautiful and a heightened sense of co-creation together. Like I see my husband as, I mean, so much, there's been so much evolution. Like right now where we are, I see him as the most beautiful, powerful, genuine, smart. I mean, this is probably way too much information. He's the most exquisite lover. He's like these things. So if we look at the dynamics of where men and women get out of sync, it's women trying to control, women feeling like and I'm not saying it's only women that get out of sync, but when we're trying to control, when we're trying to fix, when we're in our masculine energy and taking up all of the space in the room, how is there any room for the man to be desired or feel in his own power if we're running around like, I got it. Do you need help, babe? No, I'm good. I got it. Right? This is just, we do this because we're trying to protect ourselves and we're afraid to lean into life. We're afraid to lean into the masculine support. We're afraid to fully trust. I think because if it was to be taken away, that's our fear. Like, oh, what if it gets taken away? I have to be able to rely on myself. This doesn't create this co-creation, and I think this is a big swing that we're seeing right now in the world, that there's an amazing opportunity for women to embody more and more of their feminine. Yes, we can run businesses. Yes, there are masculine energies that we require, but gosh, could we just lean back into life a little bit more? No, and see our men with a level of respect and reverence and power. It's the way we choose to see them.
Oh my God.
I think.
I love you.
I love you.
I put an intention for this.
I'm sweating now. Do you care?
Too.
Can I take my jacket off?
Yeah, me too. No, seriously, I put an intention for this call to be very like profound and like emotional, and it's working.
It's totally working.
Oh my God. This is crazy. Oh my God, I love you. This is amazing. I love your energy, the way you are so aware of yourself and how you went through this. Is like it's a huge journey, and I have like only gratefulness for you, like love and pure joy, and grateful for your time.
I want to let you know how much that means to me and that I really receive it. Like, I think it's so important for us when another person thanks us or when they're inspired by us or they're sharing how we've affected. To me, it means so much to me for you to say it and for me to hear it and for me to receive it. Like, it doesn't go unnoticed. Like, it's very deeply meaningful and impactful for me to know that what I created in the world and my deepest intention to live my own beautiful soul-led life has in any way touched you, helped you, supported you, inspired you. Like, it's, if we can, I think in two ways, if we can continue to tell people in our lives how much we appreciate them and what they mean to us, and if we can, when we hear it, really receive it, like really let it in, things will change. Things will change. It's like this beautiful, precious gift that we can give each other. Like, I see you and I'm seen by you. And it's just, this has been so fun. I can't even tell you how happy I am that you reached out. I think you are absolutely gorgeous in so many ways. You have a stunning energy. You have a stunning presence. You're smart, you're open, you're vulnerable, you're authentic. And I'm just excited for
Oh my God.
anyone anyone who comes into your world, because you are precious. You
Oh my
are
God.
very, very precious.
Oh my
You
God.
are.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is, oh, I have no words. I'm taking it. Okay. I received
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. This was so much fun.
Yeah, it was. I will have an introduction. That's why I just went straight through it. I will have an introduction of you at the beginning. Um, I would love if you can say like where people can find you and like if they want to get in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're working on a brand new website. It should be soon. It should be soon. But in the meantime, elegantfemme.com/newsletter is a beautiful place if people want to be up to date on things that are going on inside of Elegant Femme, and really just following us on social media. You know, Elegant Femme One, we're doing so many things on Instagram. You can get a feel for who we are, how we support women. There are free masterclasses that we offer continuously. You know, we have our elegantfemme.com/ carte blanche masterclass, right? There's just so many places. So I would say that's the easiest way.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tara, for everything. This has been like you make my day. That's my
Likewise.
that's my indie French in New York in one. You know.
Yes. Me too. But this is the beauty of it. Like, we came on with open hearts, in gratitude, full of possibility, and I feel the same. I'm getting off like, oh, this is amazing. It was really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Yeah. So thank you.
Enjoy your day, and I would want to keep you close.
I know, I know, I know, I know. I'm here too. I'm here.
All
I'm
right.
here. I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
sending you
Thank you.
so much love. So
The
much
same.
love.
The same.
All right.
All right.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye, hun.
Bye. Bye.